Hello and welcome to Wikipedia Weekly Network. In this show where Albin Larsson and I, Jan Ainali, are editing Wikidata live. Hello Albin, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Has had a lovely start on Wikilove's Earth and so on this week. And you, Jan, how are you?
I'm good as well. It's a bit rainy here, but I managed to catch a little bit of a glimpse between the rainfall and got out a bit today at least.
Right.
Yes, so now I'm ready to be indoors in front of the computer. But what will you be editing today?
I will be following up a bit on what you have done when you have made maps on Wikipedia. And because that requires like a connection between OpenStreetMap and Wikidata, I was thinking about improving upon that and actually making queries for nature reserves missing Wikidata tags in OpenStreetMap.
Ooh, all right.
So trying to improve the coverage there.
All right, that's very good because I noticed for the counties I was adding maps to, or some municipalities, that some of them didn't have a lot of coverage.
Right.
In OpenStreetMap. So of course that.
And you, Jan, your plans?
My plans today is to work a little bit on the World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day item and things related today, because today is World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day. So I thought that felt topical, and also that item was quite, it needed some love and care. Should I go ahead first, perhaps? Let's see. So we have this Wikipedia article, which has some information. And if you didn't know it already, you have this link in the left to get to the Wikidata item. I already clicked on it here. And as we can see, we're actually, I'm going to start out adding the Swedish label for this, because that's something that's good to have. And this is called, we have a little bit of a different name in Swedish. We call it the International instead of World. I don't know why, but that's. Oops, spelling is still important.
Are you missing an A as well? In the first word? International?
Yes.
No.
Nope, that's a Q. And this is going to be a yearly.
I think you got the same spelling mistake here.
Yes. No, I think this is.
You're missing a V, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. There. This one, well, it's going to look red, but that's better. Let's publish that so we can actually easier find it. And let's see, we have only 3 statements on this. So we have the most important one, at least. We have the instance of World Day, and we also have May 8th, which is a good one. It's not the best. We can probably improve this reference, but we're going to need a good source. And luckily, from the Wikipedia article, I found this good source. Was this the one I wanted to know? This was the one I wanted. And this is very small, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. But in here, we have a few good things. So we have both that it states somewhere here that it's always on May 8th, because that's the birthday of Henry Dunant, who is the founder of the Red Cross movement. We also have the first start of it. We have who actually approved it, which means we know the organization behind this.
Right.
And we have a name change as well. So that's a new thing we can add there. We haven't done before.
Right.
So I'm going to start by first making a good source here on this one. So I'm going to edit this one. I'm going to keep the reference. I'm not removing it because it has a permanent link there, but I'm going to add a better reference as well. So this is going to be this one. We retrieved it today. And we're going to add an archive URL. I went ahead before here and actually archived this on the Internet Archive, if I can find it in all the tabs. There, I have it in. So here, I can paste it. So that's a decent one. So we'll publish that. I wonder if you could. Doesn't really matter, but it would be nice to have the other one in top. So this one I'm gonna reuse a couple of times, and as you can see, I have this little thing for reusing references, and that's a thing you enable in your settings. Copy reference. So I strongly encourage you to do that. Actually, I can show you that to you. So I'll go to my preferences, and then we have a lot of tabs, but in the tab called Gadgets, we have duplicate references, and this one is very handy, especially when you find one good source that you want to use on the same item a number of times. And I'm going to do that here. So we have the May 8th, and then we want to add, I guess, all right, it asks us for the inception. So we're going to add that one. And I have a short memory, so I'll have a look here again. It was 8 May 1948. I can close out my preferences there. So that was the first time. And I'm going to add a few things before I add this reference, so I can just copy and click it over and over and over quickly. And we'll have, I don't have an image yet. I'm a little bit not really sure what I would put at this main subject. So I'm going to wait with that one. If you have any good suggestions, please put it in the chat.
The Red Cross?
Well, I'm thinking I'm going to add that connection in some way, but I'm not sure I'm going to add it. So I want to have, do we have founded by? So, and that's going to be, and here's an interesting thing. And I like this because it showed a similarity with the Wikimedia movement. So there's one for the organization, which says it's the part of a movement. So like the Wikimedia movement and the Wikimedia Foundation. And of course, in this case, it was actually we could see in the source, it said that the board of the Federation approved it. So we can add it here. So we'll have the same source for that as well. And we had, so this is on the anniversary of the birth of Henry Dunant. So I think, and please make your protest in the chat as well if you don't like this, but I think I'm going to use the I cannot spell, commemorates.
Yeah.
For that. And I wonder if we have several Henry Dunants or just one. Easy. With good descriptions, it's easy. And then I was thinking about, what else was I thinking about? We want to add, like we did in a previous episode when we were working with the International Polar Day that this happened yearly. So we have the event interval. There we go. For example, year Q577. Thank you for that. So we'll go with 1 here and unit year. And publish here. Let's. No, I can't really check that. No, it's not linked. All right. And then I was also thinking about so I had a few other things similar to commemorates. So I'll go to commemorates and see what they were, because I think I saw named after we could use.
Indeed.
And dedicated to perhaps as well. So we'll go with the named after here.
This is actually a great trick when you look for properties you might be able to add, as well as using orchard tools as Recoin. Just go to the property and look for this see also. It's super useful.
Yeah, because sometimes there's like they're similar or even also the opposite, and you can also find them from the properties.
Yeah, and it's super great also to add things there. Quite often you go by a property and see, oh, this should really be here because people using this property should also be aware of this.
Yeah.
So go ahead and edit properties as well.
Yes. So here I'm going to go with the movement.
Yeah.
Instead. And then we'll have them both connected. And what else did we have here? Dedicated to. I'm going to go with the dedicated to the movement as well.
Makes sense.
Oh, a warning. A citation needed. All right. So let's see if we can use this as a. I think this could be used as the source for that. The Tokyo proposal. It's a weak, but I think it's a good enough source. It doesn't say it specifically, but that's sort of the spirit of this paragraph. So I'm going to use it. And then also, and now I remembered, the name change.
Right.
So we had the Red Cross Day as the original name. So I'm going to add here, let's see, official name, or should it be title? I think official name is better.
Yeah, I think title is for works of different kinds.
Yeah. So we'll go with this, and this is in English. And then we'll add a start date here, and the start date is going to be start time, the same as the first one, which was
Inception. Right.
Yeah. So that's going to be 8th May 1948. And then we had it didn't say when it changed. It said it changed a number of times, and then it said when it had the current name. So we have a indecisive thing in between. So I'm going to add an end time, and I'm going to say the unknown value here. So we don't know for sure when they stopped using this because there was something else in between. But then we know when they started to use the current name.
Right.
And this, I'm also going to copy the same source here. So the weakest thing with this item is that we're relying quite a lot of a single source. So that's something that could be improved. I might have another thing, but not that much actually. So that's a little bit of a weak. And then we had the current name, so I'll copy that from the over here. And add it. That's also in English. And that was from 84. And I wish they would have said if it's like, was the year 84 called that? so I don't have better precision here, so I'm not going to try to extrapolate or make something up myself. I'm just going to add it like that. And now this should have at least one reference. Right, so let's go to copy the references. I'm reloading the page to make the gadget understand that there's a new thing that it can use. And we'll see where it went. I added one thing. Oh, so I added it over here. And I can now copy this and insert it here. I can insert it here. I can insert it there. There. I'll insert it on both of these. Whoop. No, that was twice on the same. No, let's do an undo for that. So I'll go to history here. Sometimes you can just delete it, but I just want to show you that in the history we can see all of the edits, and there is a simple undo button here. So I'll just click that undo. It'll show you, do you want to remove this again? And I'll say accidentally duplicated. And now I'm going to need to copy my reference again. Let's see if it can load it. There we go. Copy. And insert. And was that all? Oh, no, also the inception. All right. I think that was most of the things from here. Now let's see if we go to the main page of their web page, if they're sort of redirect to some official website for this day. It should be on the main page today, one would guess.
Indeed.
Doesn't seem like that.
But they had a blog there.
They do have a blog. It might be also under what we do. So here's the blog. Nothing published today. No, so let's go back to up here and see if we can find anything in the nothing in what we do, nothing in where we work, nothing in who we are. So I would say, like, if they have one, they hit it well.
Indeed.
We do have something else though, social media wise. I noticed there are two official hashtags that actually Twitter also adds a special symbol for.
Right.
So for the hashtag, do not include the bracket symbol there. or the hash symbol. And that was just red cross day. And if you use that on Twitter and actually added hospital or something afterwards, but that's of course only half of it. So I'm guessing the hashtag was very, very long if you try to add it all in one because it's a long title. And then also the other one was Red Crescent Day.
All right. Nice. A bit of more data to our calendar.
Yeah. Yes. But your calendar's also using the main theme, I guess, and we didn't really capture it here yet.
It uses main subject, but I think it should.
Yeah, main subject. Yeah.
A better version of it should probably fall back to the commemorates.
Yeah, commemorates. Yes.
Yeah, because I've seen it quite used as well for World Days in general.
Yeah. Or combination of them, at least. That could be something. I wonder this. Well, let's see. They were talking about a conference here, 15 International Conference in Tokyo. I wonder if we can find that as an item here. Let's do a search. We didn't get an exact. Aha! There it is.
Nice.
So this was. So as the source said, there was a proposal in this one that led to it. So I'm going to add this as some of these cause things, but not the has cause. I think this will be a contributing factor or contributing factor.
There isn't anything for actual proposals.
What?
There isn't a property for actual proposals. Propose that or something like that.
Propose stated in.
No. Oh, the last one. No, not
Theorized objective or project or action. I think we can do the opposite. So here I'm gonna do. This is gonna be nice. Contributing factor of. No, has contributing factor. That is the one.
Right.
And then it's going to say, or it might say it could also be the other way around. And I think I want to add it there. So we're going to say here, helps to spell. Like that. So this one led to this, but not directly. It contributed to it. So now we also got a connection from somewhere else. So question is, can we add it from here as well? No, I don't think so. I think it's only this direction we have. Yeah.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
Yep. So that's a good start. Let's take a brief look at the federation itself. It's missing a description in Swedish. I think I'll just be very inspired by the
English
one. You can see sometimes it's very similar, sometimes it's not. And we have an instance of the most important one. All right, very nice with the part of the movement thing. You have an inception date, field of work, good. Yeah, we can see this has changed name as well. Well documented. Oh, short name. Did we see any short name for the day? No. Did it say anything else in the article? No. Here we can see they have had themes for a number of years, but for that I would say we would need to have items for each specific year, which we could have, I guess. Yeah. So head back to we're here. Founded by Chairperson, Secretary General. I still haven't figured out how to do with these global events. What's the right way to do it?
So what's the right way to indicate that they are international?
Yeah. So if someone has any ideas on that or an example item we could look at how it's been modeled, it would be very nice.
Yeah, at some point we're gonna need to ask the question in the forum or something.
Yeah. Award received. All right, interesting. Budget, street address, yes. Social media as parts. Oh, and this is going to be a long list, I guess.
Indeed.
That's why the item was so heavy to load. Right. Identifiers. Let's see if at least the social media identifiers here. We have a Facebook ID, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. All right. YouTube as well. So no Instagram here. So let's see if they. So in the top here, we can see they actually have an Instagram account. So let's see if I can just copy that link and go to the item. And let's press A to add Instagram username and just paste the entire thing. And then this handy little script that moves.
Nice.
And we can also see here what else did they have. So, dun 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 dun. What's this? Oh, that's the TikTok thing. Of course, I didn't recognize that. That they did me. Oh, and here's an interesting thing. So it seems to have the official website in a number of languages. So let's go to the main page. I'm at the media. Is this really the main page? Or did I? This is the main page.
Right.
Yes. If I remove the EN here, let's see, where do I end up then? So it's still English, so let's check the official website here. Not 3F's official. Next one, website. So we had the English. This is not the best thing because a machine wouldn't really have the ability to figure this out. So we're gonna fix this a little bit. So we're gonna figure out what the URL is for the French one. Let's see. No, wait, not on this page. On this page again, getting confused. So let's see. Oh, and even more they have. So it's just /fr. So let's go here. I'll add them first and then I'll remove. So we'll go with this. It's going to want the language of work. French. And we can publish that. And then we'll see the Spanish one. It's at least very predictable. That's good. So we'll go with that. And language of work. And that's going to be Spanish. And with those two added, I can clean up this one. and remove these. And now suddenly you could build an app and ask for one and be sure that you got the right. We get it. It's also on the International Committee of the Red Cross.
It's probably wrong then over the committee.
Wait, which act am I on? International Federation of the...
No, this actually says the committee at the top.
Let's see.
If I...
Am I mixing things up here? Yes, IFRC.
They aren't making it easy.
Oh, so that's the one that redirects to the media thing. All right.
Oh.
So I was at the right place. All right. So let's see then. So I'll go for the French again. So very useful with the constraints and the warnings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
so
example
here we have it.
Here.
Very different pattern. So let's see. So this one I need to correct. And then we'll guess it's just it's just going to be ES in the end for this one. Did I? Yes, there we go. Right. Oop. Could not save due to an error. Do not delete or replace the former URL. But I added it wrongly.
Yeah, I think you need to remove the entire statement.
It said do not remove. Let's see if I can remove. All right.
Yeah, I think you can actually always remove it, just pretend satisfies.
Oh, but now let's go with the French then. French. All right. So that's a way to stop spammers, I guess, and also live streamers. Probably very useful.
It's probably there for a reason.
Yes, let's see if I do get the same here. I should. Oh, this worked, but now this says something else.
Okay.
Is this now? I'm gonna reload and see if it actually.
Yeah. It appeared twice there as well. It seemed a little.
Yeah. Yes. So it could be. Let's see. Where did we? I'm gonna search here. Official name and website. So I still have something here. So let's see what this one actually says, because it shouldn't go there. Language, website.
There is one correct at least. It isn't there.
No, it seems to be remembering.
Yeah.
So something strange going on here in the constraints.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be in sync behind the scenes.
No, but I also saw that we had the Arabic. Yes, so let's add that as well. If it loads here, it's going to the AR. Very nice. And now let's put it on the right item here. Language. AR. Arabic. All right. So I think that will do for me for today. So we managed to improve this item a lot, connect it a little bit with other items, and clean up the organization thing. So I'm not sure if you say Happy World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day, but yeah.
Nice. And I'm gonna keep a bit more related to actually Wiki Loves Earth. So I think it was 2 episodes ago, Jan showed you how to create articles like this one or create maps in articles. This is a list article, and we can see that this is about nature reserves and that it actually pulls in the geometries like this. But it only does this if the Wikidata item is connected to OpenStreetMap from the OpenStreetMap side. So I'm thinking because we doesn't have full coverage of nature reserves, I thought I would use that as a use case to show you how you can find items that are missing Wikidata tags there. And for this, we actually have a great tool on the OpenStreetMap side. You can think of it a little bit like VDQS, but for OpenStreetMap and without SparkQL, but with their own custom thing.
All right.
So essentially, let's zoom in here. We had this region here. So I'm gonna just put that in focus. And now we want nature reserves in OpenStreetMap that are missing a Wikidata tag, because that's essentially what we want to identify. And to do this, we first need to think about the data types in OpenStreetMap. So OpenStreetMap has 3 different data types, I'm pretty sure. I'm a little rusty on this, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But it has a node, which is just a point. Then it has a way, which is a line. It might be a line that's connected. And it has a relation, which connects nodes, ways, and so on. And most nature reserves in Sweden, I'm pretty sure, always have their metadata, so to say, on the relation. I think there might be a couple of historical cases where there is on a way, so on the actual line making the region. So let's first start here with what we want. I want to start with I want to tell Overpass Turbo, as it's called here, that I want relations. And I just do that with relation, but then I also want to say I want nature reserves. And you say that within a tag called leisure. Let's see if I can spell. I think that's it. And you do, and now we want to say that this should be stating that it's a nature reserve. And I think it's just like this. Nature underscore reserve.
Can you zoom in a bit? I don't really see the...
Yes.
Ah, right, there we go.
See that it
the equal sign, yes.
Exactly. So we want a tag that's leisure, that's set to nature reserve. And I can actually pull up OpenStreetMap just to show you how this looks like, what we're looking for. Oh, I'm just in front of a nature reserve. Perfect. So I'm gonna go edit here. I'm signed into OpenStreetMap, and I'm just gonna select this nature reserve to illustrate what the data looks like that we're querying. So here we can see that we're on a line or a way, but it's also a relation here, nature reserve. So I'm gonna click that one, and we can see that it has a bunch of tags and different values. This one also happens to have a Wikidata tag, but it also have this leisure nature reserves one. So essentially what we want to get is items that has this tag, but are missing this one. So
and I think there's a trick where you don't need to actually go edit. So if you get out from there, you have a little question mark
exactly
in the
query
bottom,
features,
and you can just click on something that you think is, and it will
try
to figure out what is there.
It actually finds this nature reserve here, and you can actually see the tags here as well.
Yeah. now you cannot. You're gonna need to edit if you want to add the Wikidata thing. But
yes, right. But to illustrate the data, here's what we got. Heading back over to OpenStreetMap Turbo. So now we want to select nature reserves. I'm just going to select nature reserves to begin with. We're going to do the looking for ones without Wikidata in a while. We want to query this within a specific area. And this opens or Overpass Turbo tool has a great feature that just says, do it within the bounding box on the outer half of your screen. And I think that's super helpful. And you actually just do a bit of a shortcut where you say BB box, bounding box. And then we need to tell this tool to out center, because I actually don't care about geometry. I care about like the center point, which I can click and see the data. So hopefully this will do the trick. So we want relations. We want them to have the tag lecture set to nature reserve. And we want to get this data within this bounding box. I can see here on the map actually that we got a couple of nature reserves. So it should give us some data. I'm going to click run. We got a couple of ones. This one was the one we just looked at in OpenStreetMap. We can see that it has this Wikidata ID. But I also see that we're actually missing a couple of ones. I happen to know that there's one here, that there's one here, and so on. So I think we will need to actually duplicate this, but also ask for way, because there's more than one data type. So let's try that out. Now we're asking for both relations and ways. See if that gets us more results. Yes, so there we got another couple of results. For example, here we have one which also have a Wikidata item. That's actually is a way and not a relation. So good to capture that as well. However, now we got this idea that we are actually not interested in nature reserves. We especially want to find ones without a Wikidata tag so we can add it. And then this is like Sparkle, and we use type the statements we're looking for. So the exclamation mark here says that this should not be the case. So if I would type it here, it would say this should not be the case. Select all ways that doesn't have this. Here we just say Wikidata, because the Wikidata tag is called Wikidata. But we doesn't give it like a value here. We just leave it like that. And I'm gonna need to duplicate this to the relation down here, and this should actually do the trick. Let's see if there is anything in this region here that doesn't have one. Oh, we got a parse error. That's great. It means we need to fix something. An error occurred. Yes. It seems like we're missing a wing here, a bracket. Let's run that again. Yes, and we actually got one. That doesn't have a Wikidata tag. It's Ormsjöberget. It's actually a lovely one.
Snake Sea Mountain.
Snake Sea Mountain, indeed. I think it's very well known to have very old Scots pine. Okay, but we can actually use this link here when we click on it to go to OpenStreetMap, like this. So let's pick the name here and head over to Wikidata. I'm just gonna search in Wikidata like that. Oh, that's interesting. So in Sweden, we should have all nature reserves and all
That's very
because
interesting.
they are all in Wikipedia.
Yes.
So it might be that this is not its actual official name then, which is a bit
Makes it a little
annoying
bit
in this.
harder.
I'm just gonna start by changing.
Ah,
So I just changing the form from being the specific mountain to being without any specification. So it shows up here. I'm pretty sure this is one. We can go into it to have a look. And let's see the map. Yes, it's that one. So I can be sure that this is the same. I can just double check that as well on Wikipedia. Yeah. So I can go back to OpenStreetMap, not that OpenStreetMap, the Orchard one here. And I'm gonna go to edit and I'm gonna correct both the name instead of being the specific one, it's in plural.
yep.
And here I'm gonna say Wikidata. Great. And just put the QID. Having done that, I actually have the same button up here, and it says how many changes I have done. It says that you have done one change, and when it says that, it means I have done one change to like one geometry or one. So it's good to check that in case you do something by mistake. It's very easy just to move a node or something. I'm gonna click that, and I'm gonna say Wikidata tag. It adds a couple of sources here by default because it notes that I have this background on. I have not really been able to remove this, so to say. So it says that the source for this is what my background. I haven't been able to fix that in. Once in a time we could, but I don't know how to do it anymore. But we're gonna need to live with that.
Yep.
It's not a big deal for Wikidata tags because obviously you can't get that information from the satellite image.
Not yet.
No, not yet. Right. So if we go back to this map, so it happens to know that this one should have appeared in this one. So it should have appeared, let's see. It should have appeared here. But you can see we doesn't have this geometry like we have here, here, and here. I think we got an image. Yes. But now waiting a while Wikimedia Foundation picks up this update. It can take several weeks. But once it's done, it will actually display here. So this is something we just need to do for a lot of areas. And I'm going to head back over to OpenStreetMap Turbo. First, I'm actually going to share this query with you in case you want to play with it. And you can do this for things that aren't nature reserves. I'm just using this as an example. I think it's very useful now when we are in Wikilab's Earth times, so to say. But I'm going to zoom out a little bit and see just if we can get a bit more coverage. We just got one there, but I imagine there is more missing. So I'm going to click run here. And the larger areas you take, the more likely it is essentially to time out, similar to how the Wikidata Sparkle endpoint can time out. But I think this makes sense because I don't think it should be that many that are missing. So let's see. So
Ooh.
That's a lot.
That
That's
was a
too
lot
many.
more than I was thinking.
Yeah. So I want to zoom in on some of those that are very close to each other.
All right.
Yeah, because here I imagine. Yeah, here you can see a bit of the things we do in OpenStreetMap. Here we got a way
Mm-hmm.
that's a nature reserve, but it's technically the same nature reserves as this one, but it's a different geometry.
Mm-hmm.
And here it's also a way and not a relation. So we're actually missing a relation for this, so the data is duplicated.
Yep.
So you would need to create a relation for this and kind of merge them while keeping the two different geometries. I'm gonna skip that for today. It would be a little bit in depth,
Yeah.
but I think I'm gonna do
Nicholas strongly agree.
exactly. It should be a relationship. I think Jan and I we modeled roads this way in Visby a couple of years ago. Similarly, that they sometimes connect to different ways.
Yeah.
But here we got a basic one. It's just a simple geometry, and we should very much be able to add the Wikidata item here. I actually gonna go to the Swedish Wikipedia to find it and head over using the Wikidata object link. I'm just gonna copy the QID. Here we got the geometry. I'm gonna click edit. Actually, because I was on that like ID of the geometry as well, it's just pre-selected for me. And I'm just gonna type Wikidata. Put the QID in here and click save. Wikidata tag, it remembers what I typed. And it should update. And let's head back to this item actually. We can see that it got this Wikidata item. It's even linked to the Wikidata items. We can click that and verify it. So that's very nice. Now this as well will one day appear in Wikimedia maps, so to say. Right. And I think that's pretty much the workflow I wanted to show you. And as I said, I'm doing this for nature reserves, but you can do it for just about everything with this Overpass Turbo tool. It has a help section here. And over at the OpenStreetMap wiki, it has a bunch of examples. Actually, a bunch of them also relates to Wikidata in specifically, like finding duplicate Wikidata tags and things like that. So this is a great tool, especially now when we have Wikimedia maps.
Yeah, and Nicholas also says the wizard button is good.
Oh, right. So we should all actually be able to say like, let's sure if I could spell that. I couldn't. Nature. Right, and then it actually picks up the node, the way,
All
and the
of them.
relation.
Right.
Right. That's very nice of it. And then I imagine I could type something there to say not Wikidata. That's a great trick. Thank you, Nicholas. With that being shown, we have been working on something else that's completely unrelated to this because I think we did it this week. We put together a table of all the various episodes we have been doing of live Wikidata editing. We have been doing it for over a year, and recently both Jan and I has gone through all of the videos to essentially make a list of them as well as tag them on YouTube with what we are talking about and so on.
Yeah, so
And
all old episodes have like these YouTube chapter markers, so you can jump exactly to when we start talking about something.
exactly. And there you got a short link to this table. And this is a table that's open for everyone to edit. We have made kind of small descriptions about what it's about. If you want to improve upon them, feel free. but should make it super easy to find things. I've done it a couple of times myself. For example, if I want to get all the episodes in which we use quick statements, I can simply say quick search here for statements, and we should be able to go through them here because they kind of have this tag way. Similarly to Craggle, I think it's a tool we've used a lot of times, but also a bit of other topics like Earth Hour or Polar Bear Day and so on, and they should be kind of structured the same ways. If we have talked about lexemes more than once, they are usually just called lexemes. So it's very easy to find what we have done here and when. I've used it myself, as I said, and I hope it would be useful for everyone else.
Yeah, and some things that might be could be added if you like is to like all the links for the queries that we create or something like that, or the resources. Well, feel free to add them. If you think they are useful for you, they're probably useful for someone else as well. So
Indeed. And feel free to, even if you don't want to edit but have a suggestion, feel free to say it to us or to create the topic about it on the discussion page, because maybe it's easier than it seems.
Yes.
And with that, I feel like I'm done.
All right. So we got to see some hands-on manual editing and a very powerful tool that is indirectly improving Wikimedia services.
Indeed.
But, yeah, so we're editing somewhere else, but it shows up in all various places. The power of open knowledge ecosystems. Yep, and let's say bye for now and see you next Saturday.
See you next Saturday.